everyone, this is Michelle with Designs by JuJu, and in today's tutorial, we are going to be making the Daisy Home Wraparound Towel Topper 1. There are actually 3 different sets of towel toppers available from Designs by JuJu that you can find on their website. We have the Wraparound Towel Hanger or Towel Topper, which is what we're going to be making today, and then there are 2 other types of towel hangers or towel toppers. For those 2, I will actually have 2 additional tutorials linked in the description box below for you to check out. So today, like I said, we're going to be making the Daisy Home Wraparound Towel Topper 1. It's made completely in the hoop using a 5x7 hoop. So we are ready to head on over to the embroidery machine and get started. All right, we're over here at my embroidery machine, and for this project, I'm going to be using my brother's Stell Air to stitch this design. Like I said, this is made completely in the hoop with just a 5x7 hoop, so there are lots of machines that could stitch this project. I am going to be following along with the PDF instructions that are included within your purchase, so make sure that you check those out. And I have already prepped all of my materials using the fabric cutting chart included within the PDF. So I have my supply list pulled up and I am ready to get started. I already have 2 layers of water-soluble stabilizer hooped up into my 5x7 hoop. Make sure that you are using a water-soluble stabilizer rather than a water-soluble topper. You need to have a stabilizer. A topper is not stiff enough for this project. And we recommend using 2 layers so that it doesn't rip through while you're stitching. I'm ready to run my first stitch, which is going to be my placement stitch for my batting. Next, I'm going to lay my batting on top of those placement stitches and I'm going to run the tack down stitch. Make sure that all of those placement stitches are covered. Next, I'm going to remove my hoop from my machine and I'm going to trim right along the outer edge of that tack down line, both around the towel hanger and in the middle section here. I have just trimmed away the excess batting using my applique scissors that I like to use. These are my curved edge. It allows me to get nice and close, but also keep my distance so I don't accidentally trim a stitch. So now what I'm ready to do is I am going to place my background fabric on top of the batting. I'm going to be using that tack down stitch as a placement line for my background fabric. I have already prepped my background fabric using some SF101 that will provide some added support and durability to my project and also help prevent puckering. Again, make sure that your background fabric is large enough to cover all of the batting. And let's run the tack down stitch for it. Okay, again, I'm going to remove my hoop from my machine and trim away the excess fabric right along that tack down line. The next few stitches are going to be the applique work for the word home as well as the daisy. So I'm going to do those steps off camera and then we'll get back together to complete our towel topper. I've just completed all of the applique work. Now we're ready to do the satin stitches for our decorative pieces. So I'm going to be satin stitching all of the word home. I've just completed all of the satin stitching around the applique pieces, so now I'm going to remove my hoop from my machine and add my backing fabric to the back side of my hoop. So I've just flipped my hoop over to the back side and I am going to secure my background fabric to the underside of my hoop, and I need to make sure that it is secure so that I do not lose any of it while it is stitching. I'm just going to use some paper medical tape to secure this fabric to the back. I also did apply SF101 to this back fabric again to provide some added support and durability. Now that I have flipped my hoop back over, I am ready to stitch the background fabric onto my towel hanger. I have just finished the tack down stitch for my backing fabric, so I'm going to flip my hoop over and I am going to trim right along that tack down line to remove the excess backing fabric. I have just trimmed away that excess backing fabric, so I'm ready to put my hoop back onto my machine. And now I'm going to run the final of the satin stitches, which is going to go all the way around the towel topper. This is a pretty lengthy process. It takes about 25 minutes on my machine at a speed of 800. So I'm going to go ahead and run that stitch off camera, and then we'll check back in to finish up our towel topper. Once the satin stitching is completed, we are ready to stitch the placement line for our towel. Next, I'm going to remove my hoop from my machine and we're going to go over to my work table so I can show you where to position your towel. I have just removed my hoop from my machine and now we are going to secure the towel to the back of our hoop. So I'm going to flip my hoop over and I have a towel here that I've chosen that just coordinates with my fabric selection. So here is the front of the towel and here's the back of the towel. You can see that's the rougher of the two seams. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold my towel in half so that I can find the midpoint. And then I'm going to position my towel right here in the center of my hoop. So I'm going to find the top center, which I just did by folding in half. And then with the front of the towel facing up right here, it's the good side is facing towards me. I have it just folded in half right now. I'm going to place it over that thin edge that I just completed. And you can see there's my two lines that I stitched. And I'm going to match the center of the towel with the center of the towel topper. And you can tell, line it up with your hoop. There's the markings for where the center of mine is at. I'm going to line it up the best I can, like so, and then I'm going to open it up. Okay, once I have it where I want it at, I'm going to secure it in place with some paper medical tape. This is what I use a lot. It's relatively inexpensive and it doesn't gunk up your needle if it gets in the stitch path. So I'm going to secure this towel and then we're going to head back over to the embroidery machine and we're going to tack down this towel to the back of our towel hanger. We are back over at my embroidery machine. I carefully carried my towel over to my machine and I have all of the excess towel over here on this side of my hoop, making sure that the bottom of it is not wrapped around and is going to attach to the towel hanger. I don't want that to happen. So I have all of the excess towel over here. I have the portion that I just taped right here and you can kind of see the shadow of it through my water-soluble stabilizer. So I'm going to run the final stitch, which is going to tack down that towel to my towel hanger. Okay, I'm going to remove my hoop from my machine and we'll head back over to my work table to finish off our towel hanger. Okay, we're back over at my table and we're ready to go ahead and remove my hoop from my project. And I'll flip it over so you can see what it looks like from the back side. So here's our towel we just secured and you can see that it's stitched right along the top there. I'm going to remove my paper medical tape. And the final step that we're going to do is we're going to trim away the excess stabilizer. You want to trim close to the satin stitches, but you want to be careful not to nick those satin stitches, otherwise your project will unravel. So I'm going to do that off camera. I'm going to trim away this excess stabilizer and then we'll get back together to remove the remaining bits. I've just removed as much of the stabilizer as I could with my scissors. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Q-tip here that is saturated with water and I am going to run it right along the edge of my satin stitches. And you can see it is starting to dissolve that remaining water-soluble stabilizer. That's why it's super important to use a water-soluble stabilizer, because you don't want any little bits and pieces left on your project. So I'm going to go around the whole project and remove all of that excess stabilizer using my Q-tip. I'll do the inner part, and then we're just about ready to finish off our towel topper. I've just removed the excess stabilizer from my towel wrap. So now I'm going to show you the final step, which is how you can hang your towel wrap. So I'm just going to lay it out flat here on my table like so. And you're going to, you can see here, here's the front of it. So this would be the back side. We want the front facing up towards you. I'm going to fold the first side over so that the line is equal. And then I'm going to fold the second side over like so. And then when you get to wherever you're going to hang it, whether it's a towel rack or a stove, if you want to hang it on the stove handle, then you'll slide this part in above your towel or above your stove. And then you're going to take this end and fold it through the hole and pull it like so. And then this is the part that would hang on your towel rack or your oven door. And there it is, and it looks so cute. And like I said, there are a ton more of these designs available from Designs by JuJu. So make sure to check out the website and see if you can find a design that fits your personal style. I hope you have enjoyed today's tutorial on how to make the Daisy Home Wraparound Towel Topper 1. Make sure to check out the Designs by JuJu Blessings Facebook group for more projects and inspiration. And don't forget to check the description box, where there will be 2 more tutorials posted for how to make 2 of our other towel toppers. We can't wait to see what you make. Happy stitching!